between comfort zones and fear. November 18, 2013. Dear ones, many of you feel as if you are in a murky soup of gloom. As if all you thought you achieved is not valid. Such is not the case. This is a time of destruction of all that is familiar. But then, this information is not new to you, even though learning it and living it are two different issues. You assumed you would move from fear and pain to joy with a few adventures into the darker recesses of your being. Such is true, just not as you expected. You did not factor in your 3D fears. You are destroying your 3D being without full knowledge of your new being, so you understandably revert to known fears of yesterday. Those fears are not based in reality. Perhaps an apt analogy is deciding to expedite your French language skills by moving to France. Even though you were comfortable in your United States French language classes, now that you live in France it is difficult to quickly remember the phrases you need in day-to-day life. But within a few months of total language immersion, you find yourself speaking, dreaming and living comfortably in a French-speaking world. Such is happening to you now. You do not understand the nuances of the new you, nor your new world. Some days you feel as if you belong and others as if you are a stranger in a new land. Do not fret. You will soon feel as if the new earth is the right place for you. This transition is a learning process. It is physically and emotionally impossible for you to shift every part of your being while living a somewhat 3D life within a shifting earth, and not experience at least a few fears. You are expecting more of yourself than is logical. Your inner and outer worlds are transitioning at warp speed. Allow yourself to know and experience that thought. You will be comfortable. You will feel joy in totality, just perhaps not today or tomorrow. You are more than halfway to your new being. So you are thinking, perhaps even acting, as a new being, but you still have at least a few difficulties with day-to-day activities. Sometimes you react as a 3D being and sometimes as your new being. Not truly comfortable in either mode. You see and sense the joy, but sometimes it feels so elusive you cannot understand why you are even trying. At other times, you fear your fears for you thought you had moved beyond that point. All in all, you often feel as if you are a new earth failure. Yet, you have no interest in returning permanently to your 3D life. Granted, you return to 3D thoughts in your sleep and wake states when your new earth senses do not seem to apply, but you no longer wish to live in a 3D world. You are between comfort zones, your greatest fear, conscious or subconscious. You have negated those friends, relatives and co-workers who made you uncomfortable. You have chanted and meditated about your physical being. You have completed every new earth task you could, and yet, the totality of your new world remains elusive. Do not feel as if you are a slow learner or that you were duped. All is well. Merely that you have landed in France and do not yet feel fully comfortable with the language or culture. You will. And those you are interacting with are feeling much the same. It is as if a group of Australians landed in a place where the natives do not understand the ramifications of their land, nor that of the strangers. All are feeling the oddness of this new earth. Perhaps Europe after World War II is another apt analogy. In 1946, most of Europe was in ruins with no central government, few habitable homes, few crops to harvest and millions of people wandering from place to place trying to find their people and new homes. Total chaos, and then it was not. It is difficult to even envision what that world must have been like. Yet, you lightly skip over that period. World War II ended and Reconstruction began is how most history books cover that time. The fears, anger, retaliation, lost families, governments and homes are not discussed in any detail. So it will be for you. You are feeling some of the same lost hopeless feeling that was true of those in Europe after World War II. Nothing is the same. You have a blank slate to create anew, but sometimes you are too tired to care. You just want to feel joy and comfort. You do not want to read one more New Earth, how to. You do not want anyone telling you how different you are, nor do you want to feel that. You just want to be comfortable again. And so you shall be, sooner than you now think possible, but not today. Today is for creating your being anew. So you are a being that will not feel comfortable in any 3D zone. Such necessitates tearing down your defenses, your boundaries, your comfort zones. So you are, step by step, like salmon swimming upstream. You know you need to do something, even if you do not always wish to do so, but you do not yet quite understand why. Your only directive is your dream of moving into joy. Much as those in Europe who found food and shelter before they hid the energy or need to create new governments. You are in the process of creating your inner being shelter and comfort. Unless you have an inner urgency to do so, allow your outer world to float for a bit while you adjust to your new being. Your new world will be created as we outlined. But for now, nurture yourself and allow your being to adjust to the new you before you go into the streets to create your new world. So be it. Amen. Channeled by Brenda Hoffman. www.lifetapestrycreations.com